I'm going to talk about a new format that I would propose for this HMA project. And it seems inevitable to come up with this kind of intermediate format that falls in between current lab view format, which is TDMS, and also the current pack size format, which is called the PS format. And I think the lab view format is a little bit redundant because it has too much generalized information. And also the pack size format, PS format, is a little bit incomplete because that has been developed for normal soil site MASW data. And this HMA data is a very much a special type of data. So that's why I'm proposing this intermediate format, which is very, very simple. But to talk about, before I talk about that, let me talk about a few terminologies. Seismic record is a fundamental data unit to be handled by ParkSize software. I will continue modifying and improving this current version of ParkSize software for this particular project. I would call it ParkSize HMA for the final complete version of the software package. And so record is a fundamental data unit for this ParkSize software package. And the data is in binary form. And it consists of record head. It may or may not consist of a record header at the beginning. Current version of ParkSize format, PS format, does not use record header, but the new proposed format will use record header, which I will talk about in a minute. And then follows each channel's data set. So each channel's data, display of each channel's data is called the trace. So a display of one record from a 24 channel acquisition will consist of display of 24 traces like this. And each trace element may or may not have its own trace header at the beginning. And the current version of the ParkSize uses its own trace header, and the proposed format will also use a trace header as well. So after that trace header will come a fixed number of data samples. So let me talk about the proposed the record format. I would call it HMA record format, which will consist of record header at the beginning. And I will talk about this format in more detail on next slide. And then comes with the trace element. So if this record is obtained by using n channel acquisition, then there will be n number of trace elements, and each trace element will have its own trace header at the beginning, and then comes with a fixed number of data samples like this. So if there are n number of samples per each data set, each trace, then there will be n times 2 byte data elements following this each trace header. And then there will be n number of repetition of these trace elements like this. So combination of all these elements will make one record. I would also propose to use the file extension of HMA so that we can actually distinguish this particular data set from other type of seismic data. So this is the proposed format for record header, which is this one. So that consists of 20 elements of 4 byte floating point data. And so there will be a header word number from 1 to 20. And for now, I could think of this 8 different usages for first 8 elements. And for the remaining elements, we will come up with their own use as we go. And the next one, this one is a trace header format, which will consist of 10 elements of 4-byte floating point data. And for now, I could think of only 4 elements of the usage, and for the remaining elements, we will come up with the more usages as we go.